Good Sunday night, everyone. I'm WCIA3 meteorologist Jacob Dickey here. We're going to talk more about the chance for a couple of storms tonight and then again tomorrow in the region here and give you an update on those threats and chances and impacts and timing. Also going to revisit a little bit about storms that came through this morning in Champaign County. We'll have some new footage from our Sky 3 drone that we'll be able to show you. You can also see that on the website and more. So let's talk about these morning storms first. As you're logging on and checking in here, let me know where you're watching from. Also, let me know if you had any hail this morning, if you had any wind damage, any reports like that. Maybe some of you are going to say didn't have anything. A lot of folks missed out on the rain this morning. Those that got it, though, got a lot of 1 to 2 inch rainfall reports here from those areas that had storms. This is the last 48 hours, so you can see there's this one storm that came through, formed near Leroy, and then picked up in intensity north of Mahomet, started dropping hail near northeast of Mahomet towards Leverett and Augerville. We had ping pong ball size hail just north of Champaign-Urbana, about a mile or two north of the Cunningham exit on 45. And then that trended to the south and east, had some dime hail in St. Joe. Weakened a little bit as it passed by Homer and Ogden and Fairmount, and then picked up a little bit. We had some damage to trees in Vermilion County near Georgetown and Westville. Also some 1 inch hail reported there. And then we also, just across the state line in Cayuga, Indiana, had 2 inch hail reported with that storm. It continued off to the south and east. This other storm here was very impressive. Starting near Jacksonville, produced some large hail, quarter to golf balls. And that went from south of Jacksonville near Murrayville and Nortonville to the south end towards Girard. Eventually Litchfield got the brunt of that storm before it weakened as it went further to the south and east here. That's all we had for the morning today. A lot of spots missed out. You can see on Storm Tracker Doppler, this is this morning. There's the one storm that went by and continued off towards Indianapolis by lunchtime. Weakened a bit after it left here in central Illinois and west Indiana. And then you can see that other storm that followed it in timing. There goes one. Here comes this big one right here as it took a dive to the south. I know quite a bit of damage in Litchfield, and there was an outdoor event downtown that got a lot of tents blown around, and thankfully we have not heard of any injuries from that, but certainly those storms were electric here this morning. Quick check on photos. We look here, and there we go. There's the drone footage here. This is the top of the Leverett grain elevator north of Champaign-Urbana. The grain arm right here collapsed down into the ground, and it bent that pipe and damaged the top of that bin there. A lot of damage to the metal as it came on down, crashed to the ground here. This again is on 45, between 45 and 57, about 2 miles east of the Market Street exit. Look at that bin here. The wind's so strong, it pushed it in and partially dented it, I guess is the way to describe that from here. Crops in that area, the hail not only coming down, but it was blowing sideways, likely 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. You can see a lot of that hail has been snapped off and damaged as it was coming on through. And one last look here then at the footage from the drone. I think we'll be checking back in the elevator and give you another vantage point. Quite an impressive storm here that came on through this morning. You can see the ponding of water as well. Some spots had 1 to 2 inches of rain up there. There's an outbuilding at the Premier Co-op building. It blew over. Quite a bit of damage in that area. I've even got a few photos of some of the damage and whatnot. This is what it looked like in St. Joe this morning. This one came from my friend Candy. She lives on the north side there. We've known each other for a number of years. And the wind came on through. Then you can see there's that grain elevator up close, a view of it. A lot of tree damage in that area as well. Trees snapped to the bases. I talked to the homeowner there. They said the wind was strong as they've seen. A lot of those trees were thinned out from the wind here into the area. Again, this is Leverett, northern Champaign County, where some of the damage was this morning, and quite a bit of hail damage to those crops there. Even some vehicles had some minor damage, and that's some of the hail photos that came on in. There's the 1 to 2 inch hail from Westville to Cayuga, and some tree damage and whatnot in the Leverett area. All right, let's talk more about what's coming tonight, what may or may not come tonight, I should say here. First off, there's a good chance tonight remains dry. However, the atmosphere is primed for more severe weather. A lot of fuel up there, a lot of instability. There's some cold air aloft, which generally aids in storm development. We need a spark, though. That remains to be seen if we get a spark to light that fuel on fire. In recent guidance, FutureTrack has occasionally popped up an isolated storm somewhere. The last hour's guidance had a single storm. It looks like this particular guidance for tonight, tomorrow morning keeps us dry. Not a given. In fact, my confidence is pretty low that anything happens. But if a storm does form tonight, lots of lightning and thunder, lots of hail with that. It'd be very localized. 1 in 100 chance maybe of someone seeing that in the area, if that even. It may just be 1 or 2 storms like we had this morning into the area. The risk tonight, a level 1 marginal risk for the entire area. Tomorrow then, the severe threat actually not done based on what we're seeing here. There's a level 2 risk in northern Illinois, barely clips areas north of Pontiac to Watseka. And then here, this green is that level 1 risk for Monday afternoon and Monday evening. If we don't have any storms tonight and tomorrow, it will be hot and humid all day long. Those temperatures well on their way to the upper 90s. Some storms probably won't affect it. If for some reason there's widespread showers and storms tonight, and I don't see that happening, maybe tomorrow would spare us from the heat a little bit. More than likely, it's hot, it's sticky, it's humid, and that may give way to a couple of showers and storms here as we go into the afternoon. This particular guidance of future track, here's 5 a.m. Notice it brings an isolated storm. Don't look at the placement and say, oh, Matt Toon's getting it. We're looking at the trend here. 1 storm, that's it. You see how unlikely things are, but I just can't rule out if that happens. That'd be a hail threat with it here. It goes away. Then attention turns to the afternoon and evening. Look up here in northern Illinois. It's behind the banner there, and I would hide it if I could. But there's actually likely going to be a big swath of windy storms that come sweeping across northern Illinois and the Chicago area, and they may dive more southeast through northern Indiana here Monday mid-afternoon into the evening. There's a chance that maybe a couple of us from Iroquois County, Ford, Livingston County, Benton County, Indiana, some of our western Indiana counties may get clipped by that. And we may also get some cool outflow and a nice looking shelf cloud in those areas too. You're in Springfield, you're in Decatur, Mattoon, Charleston, Effingham, Paris, probably even Bloomington, probably even Champaign-Urbana. I don't expect storms for us tomorrow. Pontiac, Watseka, Danville, Petersburg, right on that fine line of where storms may be off to the east. Maybe you can see them. Maybe they'll be to the north. But more than likely, most of us will stay dry tomorrow. I think that's going to cause big problems in the Chicagoland, though, with the severe threats. So we'll watch likely 60, 70-mile-an-hour winds up there during the afternoon hours tomorrow with the strong batch of storms that comes on through. Once we get past that, then, stick a fork in any chance. Now notice, most all of us missing out from here on out. Anyone who got rain today got some bonus rain. Tonight's chance, if the storm forms, big if, there would be some chance for large hail, and there'd be a chance for gusty winds as well here. And that'd be about what we look at. The threat does look low. I just can't rule it out at this point that we might get 1 or 2 storms tonight into the morning hours. And I can't rule out that that storm complex that goes north of us might clip us. It may end up further north into southern Wisconsin. We'll wait and see. But we really think the key here is most miss out on storms ahead. Cross your fingers, maybe get a little rain, because once we get past that, we stick a fork in rain chances, and the heat is on. Heat advisory through Wednesday for everyone. If you've got the WCIA3 weather app, you got the notice. If you're signed up for those weather alerts on there, check your settings. If not, you got that notice for the heat advisory here. Highs for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are in the upper 90s out here. 97, 99, 98. Even Thursday, probably trending warm here. Ooh, look, a little relief. Only the upper 80s. This might actually be better than it looks, and I'll show you that here in a minute. First off, we're almost at 100 in the forecast. We haven't done that since 2012 here in central Illinois to hit 100 degrees in most of our towns. Effingham is 2017. And this heat wave is awfully early compared to where they should be. Champaign-Urbana has only hit 100 14 times in the month of June in history. Could we hit it a day? That's a possibility. I won't rule that out here in Champaign-Urbana. I think we're going to be right up there. But the key is, even though we're talking about, 199, it's the moisture that will make it miserable out there. Look at these dew points. Upper 70s, mid 70s, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They're already in the mid 70s in many spots out there now. That heat index really came creeping in fast here during the afternoon today. This little drop off, I'll tell you more about that in a second here. We want to get through the big time heat coming away. Look at these heat index values. Monday, 430. 110 in Champaign, 110 in Mattoon, 106 in Springfield, 108 in Jacksonville. Even if the thermometer doesn't read 100, it will feel like that, 10 to 15 degrees hotter than the air temperature. Notice some of these cooler colors. That would be cooler air for the outflow of those storms, as they sneak on around. That may save some of us Monday night, and let's look here at midnight. It may only feel like 76 in areas towards the state line, but at midnight, many of us still feeling like the 90s out there. Relief from the heat for most of us, not coming during the nighttime hours, and that's a little unusual. Usually we get a chance to cool off here, so the air conditioning will work well into the night, Monday night and Tuesday morning. Here we go Tuesday afternoon, back to the triple digits. Wednesday, back to the triple digits for the heat index values here. And then finally Thursday, seeing some signs of it feeling a little cooler. That is thanks to a weak cold front that's sneaking on here. Hot weather until that happens. And the word cold front really probably isn't true. It's a dry, cool front. It comes on through. I don't think we get really anything in the rain from that. Could there be an isolated shower? Sure. I think we miss out. That boundary, though, really is going to keep the heat on, but it clears some of the moisture. So we're hot and drier, not hot and sticky weather here for Friday into the weekend. You can see Wednesday, dew point values still in the 60s and 70s here. Thursday, still 70s and 60s, but look what happens Thursday afternoon. Dew points start to fall a little bit into the 50s and 60s, which is at least a little better than 70s. I'm not saying it's going to be a nice day necessarily. It'll still be hot, but not as humid as it has been, and so that's something that we'll watch here. That little bit of relief is short-lived. Next week, I think we're back into the mid to upper 90s based on the forecast here. Some hot weather ahead across central Illinois with this heat wave that's settling on, and the extended outlooks as well are not very nice to us here. The third week of June, likely dry. Also looking hotter than normal. In fact, this heat may stick around through the end of June, and if that trend keeps going in 2012, when we had a lot of heat, maybe July will be a hot month based on that. We'll watch it, see what happens, but certainly it's not a good sign when the extreme heat is making it a little earlier than it should here and trying to lock itself on in. All right, that is what I have for you, I should say. We've got a newscast update at 10 o'clock. I've got the full Sky 3 drone footage on the website here in a second. You'll get a push alert on the news app from that when it gets posted in a minute. Be sure and join us at 10 o'clock for updates. Recapping tonight's threat, if a storm forms, and it's a big if, there would be large hail and probably some damaging winds. We may get through the night without any storms. It may only be one storm. That's probably all we're really thinking about here. And then as we go into tomorrow, that big complex of storms probably stays north and east. I can't rule it out clipping a couple of us. So more than likely, if you're watching this, you're staying dry all the way through at least 7 days and maybe longer than that based on what we're looking at here as the hot and dry weather sticks on in. That is what I have for you. Be sure and join us at 10 o'clock. Catch my updates on the website. Jack Griffin will be in the morning. I'll be back tomorrow afternoon to watch the storms in the studio for you, and we'll keep you updated. So take care. Have a great rest of your night. Stay cool. Stay safe this week. Consider heat and the dangers it brings, and we'll be sure and keep you updated as well on those temperatures, heat index values, and more. You can find those for your local area anytime on the WCIA 3 weather app. Take care. Have a great rest of your Sunday night.